1 year after surviving a traumatic event with her estranged father, a college student continues her relationship with her stepbrother. However, despite their strong feelings for each other, the people around them are determined to tear the couple apart. During her birthday party, Noah welcomes guests by the door with her mother, Rafaella. When a woman asks where her stepbrother Nick is, her stepfather Will explains that he's interning at a law firm in San Francisco. Later, the teen and her best friend Jenna sneak off to a room to secretly enjoy champagne. Upon seeing the sad look on Noah's face, the friend asks her what's wrong, so she shares that it'll soon be a year since her father's death. Jenna comforts her and says that the man had it coming, implying that he deserved his fate because he captured the teen and put her life at risk. Then, Noah laments that she's barely seen Nick in the past year, revealing they're in a secret relationship. Suddenly, the teen sees the man's car pull into the driveway, so she runs out of the mansion to welcome him. She jumps into Nick's arms and excitedly states that she always knew he was going to show up. Unbeknownst to the pair, Rafaella and Will disappointedly watch their reunion from the balcony, revealing that they're aware of and disapprove of the relationship. Moments later, the couple sneaks off by the poolside and they do the deed. After making love, the man gives her a necklace with a heart pendant, and she promises to wear it forever. The next day, the pair enters a pastry shop, where the mischievous Noah pulls the man into the restroom to fool around. That afternoon, they play beach volleyball with Jenna and her boyfriend Lion. During a party, the two men watch their girlfriends celebrate finally finishing high school by taking off their school uniforms and dancing in their undergarments by the bonfire. Lion shares his concern that both their relationships may be in peril because Noah and Jenna, who are 3 years their junior, are going off to college, where they'll meet people their age. The stepbrother brushes off his concern, but the friend insists that distance ruins everything. Days later, Lion visits his brother Luca in prison and says they could lose their garage because business has dwindled and rent has gone up. However, the older man insists that they shouldn't sell the shop despite their financial woes. After graduation, the teen gets a new car from her family, and she and Nick immediately take it out for a drive. In the vehicle, he points out that they've kept their relationship a secret for a year, and he's tired of sneaking around. Later, the man takes Noah to the apartment his grandfather gave him and says that he won't be returning to San Francisco and that he'll be living in the space since it's close to the university. The teen assumes that he wants her to move in, but when she sees the confused look on his face, she realizes he only meant that they can have their secret rendezvous there, and quickly leaves the apartment. That night, Lion tells Nick that he doesn't think he'll ever be able to provide Jenna with the lifestyle she's accustomed to, seeing as she comes from a wealthy family while he works in a garage. Then, the man shares that he's not sure he's ready to live with Noah, because the thought scares him. Meanwhile, Noah tells Jenna what happened earlier, so the friend says her stepbrother's issues stem from his mother abandoning him when he was young, explaining why he's apprehensive about taking the next step in their relationship. The man checks his ringing phone and sees that it's his mother, but he chooses to ignore the call. Weeks later, Noah and her mother tour the dorm room where they meet her new roommate Briar. The student's mother says her daughter attended the same high school the teen did, but took a 2-year sabbatical before starting university. Concurrently, Nick starts his internship at his father's company and meets the beautiful junior recruit Sophia. Days later, Rafaella shows her daughter a paparazzi picture of her and her stepbrother kissing and states that if the public finds out about the relationship, it could affect the family's reputation. Then, the woman asks the teen if she's certain that Nick no longer holds illegal fights and drag races, and the latter defiantly says that she loves and trusts the man. Later, during a video call, the man tells his stepsister that he'll be sharing an office with another intern. The college student moves into the dorm room 1 week early and is surprised to find Briar throwing a party. The roommate apologizes and says that she thought she wouldn't be there for another week. When Briar offers the teen a drink, she spots the scar on her wrist, so she explains that an ex-boyfriend drove her to do awful things to herself, but assures that she's since moved on. Then, Michael enters the room to grab his jacket and introduce himself to Noah. The next day, Will watches his son and the new intern's interaction and calls Rafaella to tell her that there's chemistry between them, revealing that the parents devised the plan to distract Nick with Sophia. Meanwhile, Luca calls Lion about how they can save the garage, and Ronnie, a fellow inmate and Noah's late father's accomplice during the capture, overhears the conversation. Days later, Nick spends time with the teen and his half-sister Maggie. To his surprise, his estranged mother Anabel arrives to pick the girl up. The woman begs to speak to him, but he refuses, and he and Noah drive away. To comfort her boyfriend, the college student initiates intimacy, and they do the deed. Later, at the dorm, Noah introduces the man to Briar, and he stares at the roommate like he's just seen a ghost. He immediately excuses himself to leave, but as he grabs his coat by the door, he accidentally drops his phone. In the car, Nick asks his driver if he remembers Briar, revealing that he and the student have a shared history. Suddenly, a distraught Lion, who's holding up a bloody knife, contacts the man through the driver's phone and asks him for help. Soon, Nick learns that his friend cut his hand while opening the package Luca asked him to deliver, and the former confirms that it's an illegal substance. He wonders why Lion didn't just ask him for money if he was desperate, so the former says he doesn't want his charity. To Nick's surprise, Noah joins them in the back room of the seedy bar for the drop-off, and Lion explains that she answered his phone when he was trying to call him earlier. Then, they meet Ronnie's brother Bobby, who still blames the teen for his siblings' incarceration. The man claims the delivery is short 100 grams, so he orders Nick and Noah to withdraw €3,000 each to cover up for the missing product. When the teen pours her drink on a rude patron's shoes, a brawl breaks out in the bar. In the chaos, Bobby attempts to stab the unsuspecting Nick, but the stepsister stops him and punches him in the face. At the police station, the stepbrother calls Sophia and asks her to bail them out, and she promises not to tell Will that they got arrested. Later, Noah admonishes Nick for his involvement in the illegal transaction, so he swears that it was Luca's doing. To make it up to the teen, he joins her as they adopt a black cat from an animal shelter. Outside the dorm, the man mentions how he gets bad vibes from Briar, but refuses to explain why. When he asks about the roommate, Noah says she was in a car accident with her boyfriend during an illegal race. The teen asks if he knows who the guy is, but Nick says it probably happened when he was in Mexico. She adds that Briar was in the hospital for 2 months after the accident, and when she got out, her boyfriend was already seeing someone else. Because they have the room to themselves, the couple makes love on the kitchen counter. Suddenly, Noah sees the roommate staring at them while holding a knife, so they quickly cover up. Briar flashes a smile and says they shouldn't stop on her account, and explains that she needs the blade to cut off the label from the shirt she just bought. The next day, the roommate encourages the teen to take Michael's class. That evening, Jenna drops by the garage to visit Lion, who promises he'll stop all illegal activity including drag races. One day, Anabel drops by the dorm room and says she knows Briar's parents. The woman adds that she tracked the teen down because she's her only hope of getting her son to talk to her. When Noah refuses, Anabel wonders if she knows how long Rafaella and Will have known each other, implying that the couple has secrets of their own. Later, the college student arrives at the mansion to retrieve her things, but she finds her family having dinner with Sophia and her parents. During the meal, the seething teen realizes that Rafaella and Will are trying to set Nick up with the intern, so she states that the man asked her to live with him, shocking everyone at the table. Soon, the man follows Noah to the cemetery where she sits by her late father's grave. He apologizes for forgetting the anniversary of her father's death and failing to disclose that their parents are setting him up with the intern. However, he swears that nothing is going on between him and Sophia. Even though she has her doubts, the teen chooses to believe his words and says that if there's anything else he'd like to confess, he should do it now, because if he lies one more time, it'll be over between them. Nick says he has nothing to confess, but Noah knows he doesn't want her to move into the apartment. The next day, the college student welcomes Anabel to the mansion and assures her that she's all alone. Then, the woman shows the teen the hidden lawsuit where she sought custody of Nick, as well as the withdrawal she had to sign after the blackmail, revealing that she never wanted to abandon her son. Anabel adds that Andrew, Nick's grandfather, hated Will, so he made the grandson his heir. To make sure the woman couldn't take Nick away, Andrew used her infidelity as blackmail. To Noah's surprise, she also learns that Will was already having an affair with her mother, long before Anabel strayed from the marriage. While the teen's distracted, the woman enters the bathroom and steals Will's toothbrush. Before she leaves, Anabel hands Noah a letter and tells her to make sure that Nick receives it, and the latter acknowledges that if he ever finds out that she helped his mother, he'll never forgive her. Later at the office, the man almost catches his stepsister dropping the letter off on his desk, so Sophia saves her by lying that a messenger delivered it. However, after reading it, Nick tears the paper and tells Noah to throw it away. That night, the stepbrother takes the teen on a romantic date to apologize for the dinner with Sophia's family. As they slow dance, the man says he needs to go to London with the intern for a few days because of a case, adding that winning it could mean more opportunities for him. Later, as they lay in bed, Noah shares that she has a strange feeling that tonight felt like a goodbye. When she asks why he tore the letter, he says he doesn't want to know the truth and she should respect his decision. The next day, a paparazzi takes pictures of Nick and Sophia at the airport. Meanwhile, Rafaella confronts her daughter about her behavior during the dinner party and living in her stepbrother's apartment. So, Noah reveals that she knows her mother and Will's relationship began while they were still married to their spouses, implying that she's in no position to judge the daughter's life choices. In London, Nick meets with his grandfather Andrew and asks him about Briar. The older man says he took care of the situation years ago and that she was in a mental institution for the past 2 years. The grandfather adds that Briar wasn't well even before she met Nick, and he shouldn't blame himself for what happened to her. After reading the couple's messages on the computer, the roommate reminds herself that her main objective is getting revenge on Nick for something he did to her years ago. In London, Sophia tells the man to be careful with his relationship with the teen, because in her experience, being in a relationship people want to destroy rarely ends well. Suddenly, they receive news that they won the case and they share a celebratory hug, flustering the woman. Unbeknownst to the pair, a paparazzi takes their pictures through the window. Once Nick returns home, he sees that his girlfriend isn't in the apartment, and when he tries to call her, she's busy playing card games with Michael and Briar. After the roommate goes to bed, Michael makes a move on the teen, but she politely refuses his advances and thanks him for his company. However, Nick catches the tense interaction, and after the other man leaves, an argument ensues. Since they both can't fully trust each other and are growing apart, Noah thinks they should take a break from their relationship. Then, Nick shares that he's been offered a position in London and has a week to decide if he'll take it. So, the college student says they can meet at the annual company gala next week and discuss the future of their relationship then. For the next few days, the step-siblings go about their days to try and distract themselves from the tough decisions they're about to make. In the office, Sophia looks longingly at Nick and realizes she's developed feelings for the colleague. One night, while scrolling through Briar's social media page, Noah sees a picture of the roommate with her stepbrother and wonders if they knew each other in the past. The next day, Lion asks Nick to join him in one last race so he can make money to save the garage. He adds that even though the race is on the same day as the company gala, they can still make it to the event on time. At first, the man declines, since he promised Noah that he'll never race again, but he reconsiders when he learns that Ronnie is getting out of prison and joining the contest. To the men's surprise, their girlfriends show up to the race and are aware of what they're planning to do. During the competition, Nick tells the friends that Lion needs to win, but they don't listen to his reasons. Unbeknownst to the group, Briar calls the authorities to report the illegal race. Eventually, Noah and Nick sandwich Ronnie's car to make sure he hits the police vehicle and gets arrested. Then, they both stop just before the finish line, ensuring that Lion wins the race and the €15,000 prize money. At the gala, Nick and Sophia pose for the photographers on the red carpet. Meanwhile, Jenna breaks up with her boyfriend because he can't separate her from her family's wealth and will never love her for who she is. Then, the intern interrupts Noah's conversation with Briar, and the teen thanks the woman for helping her out with the letter at the office. Moments later, Nick asks the roommate what she's doing at the party, and the latter says she's always wanted him to take her to the gala. The man points out that they only dated for a few months 3 years ago, and she should stop tormenting him, revealing that he was the ex-boyfriend from the drag race accident. Later, Noah tells her stepbrother that she knows all about what happened between him and the roommate. Meanwhile, Lion accepts a job offer from Mr. Tavish, Jenna's father, and tells Noah that he'll work from the bottom to win back his ex-girlfriend. To everyone's shock, Briar lets Anabel into the party through a back door. The woman tells Nick that she never abandoned him, and she left because Will and Rafaella were having an affair. Then, in the garden, she hands Will a paternity test showing that he's Maggie's father, and not her latest husband, as everyone assumed. When Rafaella asks when it happened, the man says it was during their vacation in the Bahamas before the divorce. Everyone wonders how Anabel got the DNA, so Noah comes clean and admits that she let her in the mansion and dropped off the letter at the office. She explains that she only wanted the stepbrother to know that his mother never abandoned him. However, Nick says the only things he learned so far are that his grandfather is a monster, that his father has lied to him his whole life, and that his mother never loved him and only wanted to protect Maggie's future. Angry and betrayed, the man returns to the party and kisses Sophia for everyone to see. While he leaves the party with Lion, Briar shows Noah pictures of him and Sophia kissing and says they've been having an affair for a while. Before she walks away, the roommate slyly steals the keys from the teen's bag. Because his friend made him realize the error of his ways, Nick drives back to the party to look for his stepsister. He asks Briar where she is, but the roommate tells him that he's too late. Then, she reveals that she was pregnant at the time of the accident and lost the child. Even though he swears that he didn't know anything about her situation, Briar believes his family had something to do with her losing the baby since they owned the hospital. Nick demands to know where Noah is, so the roommate says she's probably at the dorm harming herself. Soon, the man breaks down the dorm room door, but his stepsister isn't there. Meanwhile, the teen dries off inside Michael's room and thanks him for letting her in since she lost her keys. While helping her with her bag, the man sees Nick's message of apology on her phone but ignores it. Eventually, they do the deed, and the heart necklace falls to the floor. Later, Noah finds Nick waiting for her in the rain, and after a few seconds of silence, they both realize that their relationship is over. Meanwhile, Rafaella and Will accept that everything that's gone wrong in their family was their fault. The next day, Noah visits her father's grave and finds Nick's message written on the headstone stating that he'll always be there for her.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.